Welcome. It's a new season of Changemakers Circle. Changemakers Circle is the program where we talk about how to optimize and bring out the best in development practitioners. And this program is being brought to you by Skillhub Consulting, an organization that is set out to help development practitioners to become the best at what they do. My name is Esther Hadiza, and this is Click Niger Online Channel. Everything we're going to be talking about this season is all about sustainability, from communication to funding to partnerships, just name it. So expect the best on Changemakers Circle on this channel. And today is our first edition in this second season. So today we are talking beyond grants, different funding sources. Now, when we talk about money, I mean, it's a good thing to start the season talking about money, okay? But we want to look beyond grants and talk about different funding sources. How, as an NGO or as a CSO, you can create different revenue and income streams for sustainability. Today on the show, I am talking with the principal consultant of Skillhub Consulting herself, Esther Hadiza Ijeaku. It's awesome having you, Esther, on Changemakers Circle. I should give you a...
Thank you. I'm excited to be back. I'm excited about the new season.
Yes, so this is season 2. It's brand new, it's fresh, and we're focusing on sustainability. I mean, what a way to start it. This season 2 itself is an evidence of sustainability. So welcome.
Correct. Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
Esther Hadiza Ijeaku is a certified project management professional. She is a team lead with decades of experience in the development sector. She's the principal consultant, of course, of Skillhub Consulting. She has several years of experience in community outreach and mobilization, radio program production, media development, safeguarding, training, and project management. Welcome once again.
Thank you, Ehi.
So today we're talking beyond grants, and this second season is all about sustainability. But let me ask you, what does it feel like, coming on board again with Changemakers Circle a second time?
I mean, it feels good. I'm pretty excited. We got very good feedback, especially from people who didn't really know much about what NGOs do. What are the challenges we're facing? What differences do we make? Are we there for the money? So we had very good feedback, and we're trying to just dive a bit deeper into how organizations can be a lot more sustainable or thrive better while they deliver programs that make all the difference in their communities of choice. Yeah.
Okay, so what do we look forward to expecting this time around?
I mean, interesting guests, that's for sure. Seasoned experts that will be speaking about perspectives that may not be common or be challenging us. I think that's another thing, about how we run, what we hope to achieve, and the approaches we've been using. It's almost like saying you've been digging yourself in a hole. It's time to stop digging and to think about how you climb out of the hole. So I think people can look out for something interesting and great experts and a lot to learn.
Sustainability, why do you think this is so important in the CSO and NGO sector, the development sector?
Well, fundamentally, people set up organizations because they want to make a difference. They have a cause. They want to improve the lives of people. I mean, nobody starts an NGO just because it's to make a difference, whether it's in education, in maternal health, or to reduce something, to increase something, to improve livelihood or outcomes for whatever population it is. So while you're making the difference in other people's lives, you have to think of surviving yourself, right? Most times people prioritize, or organizations prioritize their programming and their impact above their survival. It's almost like saying, even when you're on a plane, they tell you, make sure you use the oxygen first before you help somebody, because you can decide to love somebody so much and give them the oxygen and pass out
then we even
yourself.
have two casualties.
Yes, then you end up with two casualties. So that's the whole idea behind it, that we don't want to have two casualties. We want CSOs to grow, we want them to be established, and we want them to continue to do the great work that they do.
Fantastic. The work that Skillhub does is quite unique, bridging that gap, because I don't really see much organizations stepping into those shoes. But it's interesting because then they find a place to fall back to get the relevant knowledge and support.
I mean, people go to great lengths. Business people go to business school. Pastors go to seminary, Bible school. Doctors go to medical. When people start NGOs, most times it's just out of passion. You're just passionate about something, or you are annoyed by something that you want to fix, right? Say, why don't we have enough women in the National Assembly? You are annoyed by it, so you now decide that you're going to do a protest or something like that. So most times people don't learn how to run the structure that will get you to achieve your cause. So that's our area of interest, among other things like the issues themselves. We're interested in the issues. We're interested in gender equality. We're interested in peace, but we're also interested in the people and the organizations that deliver those programs.
Yeah. Okay. And when we talk about sustainability, definitely funding is at the core or at the heart of it. Accessing funds, getting grants and things like that. But then can NGOs or CSOs exist beyond these funds or grants? What are the ways that CSOs, can bring in funds to support themselves and support the work that they do? Narrowing in down now to what we are talking about specifically today.
Yes, absolutely. So most times, and especially here, because I did a research some years ago, and I was surprised to find that there's so many funding models of NGOs. But here, I will speak specifically about Nigeria. We will just know to write our proposals to donors and get grants. But there are, you can have funding through, for example, self-funding. There are people that have the wherewithal to fund the activities that they want to do, and they do it, just do it in their own name, foundation, or whatever it is. You can have partnerships with the private sector, which is not really explored in Nigeria. A lot of private sector organizations have their CSR, and it runs parallel instead of having that convergence, that there's a partnership with non-profit organizations that are working in the area. They're a business. You can give them the funding to do the work, and your CSR will still be done. Membership. We don't do enough of that. I mean, there are people that are interested in certain areas. You can have the same, those people come together, and through dues or whatever it is, you're able to raise some funds. Crowdfunding. Now there's a lot of it. You go online, you see, Yasikira, I saw her at the junction. She doesn't have food. Send money to this number. People are already doing their crowdfunding. They're raising funds from individuals, right? Then there are philanthropists. There are people that set aside particular funds. This is what I want to do. And it's just for you to know who they are, or make a pitch, much like you have, angel investors that are able to put down their money to support. That said, you may push for cash or kind. So sometimes we're so focused on getting money that we don't realize that
The value.
there's value in just telling people what you want to do with it. So you can have different approaches to it, like the social enterprise model, which is like you do business. So for example, we can have survivors of GBV.
Skill center.
Yes, like it's skill center. You can even have a restaurant. They're the workers in the restaurant, right? And people come, they eat, everybody has a salary and can take care of themselves. We don't think enough like businesses. We don't think enough like entrepreneurs in the non-profit sector. Somebody will decide after you finish working for government for 1 million years, now decide my retirement plan is that I'm going to start an NGO. Well, good luck to you because it's going to be tough. It's a business. You have to have an entrepreneurial mindset. Approach it like a business because of value. Even the grants that they're giving you are seen as investments. I remember in the days of USAID, now we can say in the days of USAID because now they pulled the plug on the funding. Their logo was from the American people with a handshake. That's taxpayers' money. It's not free money. You have to prove that you deserve it. You have to show how you're going to use it, and you have to be accountable for it. If not, you will return it. It's an investment. But most times we think about it like, oh, I just need funding to do this. You don't have structures, you don't have systems, you don't have a plan, you don't have any visibility, you don't have policies, you don't have anything. Your own is just bring money, let's spend. It cannot work. But if you have structures in place, then the resources can flow in. Not to say that it's easy. It's not easy. That one, we all agree. It's tough out there, but it's possible.
Interesting. Really, really interesting. I mean, you said so many. What you've just said now is quite loaded. And you've made mention of different models by which people can access funds. But from your experience, which of these, 1, 2, 3, would you say, is the most successful ways by which that you have seen that people can generate income?
Well, the only person you can trust, and in some cases you can't even trust that person, is yourself. The way I see it and where it's going, the trend, that's where we're going. It's going to be tough competing to get resources from others. You have to think of how to generate, to create value that will generate your funding. So people don't like talking about social enterprises. In fact, I was in a meeting and somebody said, if you go and check CAC registration and all of that, there's nowhere that they mention social enterprises because they didn't even think about it. They just expect that business is different from NGOs. But there's a cross. You have to, if you can think of ideas that can generate funds, the only thing is that you cannot share profit as an NGO. There is that whole thing about that's a big constraint. Because you can't share profit, you have to use the resources that are generated for your cause. What's wrong with that? That's what you were doing anyway. So why not explore that idea? But the truth is that we're lazy. Sometimes we're lazy. Or we do lack ideas. Let me be nice.
Yeah, maybe the lack of the ideas is part of the laziness.
Yes.
Because it starts from the mind, really, when you think about it. But what are some of the initial challenges that CSOs face in trying to diversify and trying to, come up with other ideas for generating more resource for themselves?
I think the biggest barrier is a mindset problem. Most of what I've said is the biggest barrier is a mindset. And if the mindset shifts, that really this is think about it like a business, like an enterprise, right? Then there are some things that you will do and there are some things you will never do, right? Another challenge or barrier is not having structure. The truth of the matter is that some people, all they have is passion. They see the problem, they can fix the problem, but they need help to fix it. Now, why are you running? when you know that you don't have the structure, stop. Put the structures in place. Sometimes even people want to help you, but they cannot help you, right? Um, there are people that want to do good, but they don't know where to put their money. But you have to create a platform. It's almost like a plug and play for them to see what you're doing and to plug in. I talked to a few people. Oh, we want to do this thing for FCT School of the Blind. They're like, man, this sounds interesting. Please, when you are ready, when you have the costs, let me know. So I'm not even planning to put it online like we were saying. Let's test out the crowdfunding. We're not even going to do it because we already have people that have committed that they're going to fund the project. So if you know what you want to do and you can communicate it and there's a structure in place and the trust is there, you will attract the resources that you need. But there's something also, competition.
Okay.
Like having, if for example, you have an amount of funds available, maybe there's a call for proposal like grants or whatever, the competition is fierce. And there are some people that have been doing this thing forever. There are some that know how to write proposals better than they can implement. And there are some that can implement better than they can write. I have a framework called the 3x8 NGO framework. And it's supposed to give you a snapshot to see your strengths and your weakness around how are you raising funds? How are you going about your partnership? Are you visible? Are you efficient? Are you making impact? How are you communicating? Those are the key areas. And when you have that snapshot, it shows you where your weakness is and your strengths for you to kind of consolidate on, and then the weaknesses that you need to work through and to build and to establish yourself so that you can thrive and be sustainable.
Okay. So how can CSOs balance the social mission of their organization and the need to generate revenue?
Well, I mean, it's to stay focused on the mission. The mission comes first, right? Some people follow the money. If there's funding for human rights, all of a sudden you are doing human rights. If there's funding for health, you now repackage and say, actually, we were doing reproductive rights, so that means we're doing health. If something comes up on trafficking, they want to do it. You have to stay true. And that's where, like the board of the organization, the board of directors comes in, corporate governance, to make sure that you stay true to your mission. You can balance looking for the funding with staying on your mission by just focusing on the mission. First things first, major on the major. And then if there's no funding there, if you want to change strategy, you want to expand, let it be a formal process that you go through, not that it's arbitrary based on call for proposals that you see online or people share with you.
Now, saying all this that you've been talking about, it looks like, an NGO founder or the NGO, those who are running it need a lot of know-how, skills, and things like that. So what would those skills be? But sometimes it can look a bit big in the minds of, and then you just feel, I don't know this, and all that. What are the skills your skill sets that are needed?
So, I mean, yes, it looks daunting, but you can simplify it by thinking about it like, if you want to be accountable, what would you do? Or if somebody needed to be accountable, what would you do? Put records, you start keeping records, right? You will have evidence for what you are doing, right? If you want to tell somebody about what you do, how would you tell them? Put it down. If you're going to travel or you're going to do a project, how would you go about it to make sure everybody is safe? That's a policy. So, like safeguarding policy, your travel policy. So, yes, they come out looking big, right? But these are things that are everyday um, skills that you need for planning, for budgeting, for communicating better. If you go through all these things, you even be a better human being, just all around, right? So these are simple skills. And one thing I've noticed that stands out for me is that we don't learn, we don't stop to learn. There's a lot of free training online, platforms that offer trainings that you would normally pay for, an arm and a leg, are free if you look for them.
Find them,
So we're busy running helter skelter. We're not stopping to say, okay, what do I need to know? If I'm going to do budgeting, what do I need to know? If you check online, you will find somebody that will teach you. It's just to look through the whole gamut of, if I just pick a call for proposal and check what they're asking you and build yourself around the questions that they ask you to say, okay, if I'm going to get ready, what do I need to do? To tell you the simple things that you need
that
to
sounds
know.
like that sounds like a hack, what you just said now.
Because if you look at it,
Because
you look
it's revealing to me. Like, I don't know, for me personally, I just saw something there. Like, pick a proposal, like picking a past question paper.
Exactly. If you practice enough, you should be ready. Yes.
Because I was going to ask that, do you need to have all these skills, or you can just hire people that have these skills? Is it really important that you should or must have them? Or, I mean, you can do without having the skills if you have people that you can hire or outsource.
I think you can outsource, but you have to know enough to give oversight, right? So I'm a consultant, and if a consultant does not want to, he's just doing it for doing sake, and they don't want to help you. There are some things that they know to do, but because it's not in the contract, they will not do it, right? So even giving oversight, when you outsource something, you have to have some kind of basic knowledge about it. You tell somebody to write a proposal, you don't know anything about theory of change, you don't know anything about log frame, you don't know anything about M&E. Whatever they give you, you will just be grateful that they did it for you. But you know, if you have an idea of, you'll be able to ask some questions that would help you shape it into what you really want, rather than being forced to take whatever is given to you. So outsourcing is a good approach, but it's not the whole answer, because you need to be able to give that oversight and make sure that you get your money's worth.
That is really important, especially since you are looking for the same money.
Exactly.
Itself.
Exactly.
So beyond grants, what other ways can development organizations make money?
You can't keep looking at getting just free money. If you ask yourself, if I wasn't doing this NGO, what would I do? Or look at your resources. What can we do with the resources that we have right now? So some NGOs went and hired like massive offices. What? You have a conference room, meeting room, you're not using it. You pay for internet, it's just running. Why don't you just offer, okay, other NGOs, you can come use our meeting room at a lower cost, for example. Or you can come, you know how you have shared spaces, you have a small arrangement that people can come in individuals, they pay by the hour, like shared spaces, because there's already internet, you're running your gen anyway, and you can make money off it. So you have to think, that have that entrepreneurial mindset. I think I've said it before, that what do I have in my hands? What can I do with what I have? So for example, for us, Skillhub Consulting, at a point we were thinking, what skills do we have besides waiting for people to call us as technical experts? And then, okay, so we can design, we can communicate. If you go to our social media platforms, they are blowing up because we're using our skills to build a community, right? And somebody saw our profile and said, oh my God, your profile is just, it's nice. We charge them. We can do it for you at so cost. So they engaged us to develop their profile, and they were very happy about it. And it's a business, it's not an NGO. So look around. What can you do with what you have, and how can you monetize some of your skills and your knowledge that you already have, rather than sit and wait and twiddling your fingers and hoping for the best.
Now, for NGOs who are hesitant or unsure of what to do or how to explore new opportunities of income, what advice would you be giving to them?
What is the worst thing that can happen, right? You try and you don't get it. The people that never fail are the people that never try. You will never fail. You will have a clean sheet because you never tried. So you will never fail. But the people that try may fail, but there is also opportunity for you to get a win, an unexpected win for that matter. So which is it? You can't be risk averse in this case, because the option is death. So learn learn about the changes that are happening in your context. Look at the resources that you have, the skills that you have, and don't be afraid to try. Don't be afraid to try.
Let me get your final thoughts on all this. If in trying to advise, NGOs and CSOs on how best they can empower themselves, what would be your top, final words that you want to share with them?
I think we should be open-minded. We should be open-minded about where the resources we need will come from. We should be open-minded about who to partner with, right? We should be open-minded about, we want to make a difference. So competition has crept into the development sector so much that even when organizations see where they can collaborate and win, they refuse to collaborate because they think, oh, no, I can't share my space with anybody. They will all die, right? So we need to be open-minded and be willing to collaborate and to keep the mission in mind, front and center, and be focused on this is what we do, focus on what we do, and share. See, we need to share information a lot more, not just of opportunities, because some people think, oh, if I tell these people, that means then there will be 100 proposals. No! Some people will not even write the proposal.
Even if you didn't even share with them, there will still be 100 proposals.
There will still be 100 proposals. But then you are creating a relationship.
Yeah.
Just me being in the sector, sometimes people just pick up their phone and they call me. Yes, sir, we saw this thing. Did you see it? Because if I see an opportunity, I forward to the people that you are not working in that sector. So share the information. Let's be open-minded. Let's be willing for each and every one of us to win, because it's a big sky. We can all win. We can all achieve. The resources you may need are just hands, volunteers. Somebody else might need funding. Somebody else might need food. Somebody else might need expertise. I have a lot of organizations that come to me and say, Esther, we want to do this training, but we don't have money. And I go, I do the training.
Yeah.
So you get me for free, right? So think beyond Naira, or should I say dollars? Because most times people like to hear that one. Think beyond Naira.
I thought you were going to say Naira. All right. So this is it. It's been Changemakers Circle on Click Niger online channel, and today we talked beyond grants. And this is season 2. It promises to be so much more. Season 2, we are all about sustainability, and I've been speaking with Esther Hadiza Ijeaku, the principal consultant of Skillhub Consulting. It's been awesome speaking with you today, Esther. I personally learned a lot.
Thank you so much for having me. And I'm excited about the new season and look forward to the exciting guests who will be hosting here.
Yeah. All right. Until we'll come your way again next time, my name is Esther Hadiza Ijeaku. Bye for now.